Hola chicos! Today we're talking about the subjunctive with recommendations. So you're going to fill in under R of you weirdo in your guided notes. So I'd first like for you to write down all of these important verbs. These verbs are not necessarily going to be in the subjunctive. They'll probably be in just the regular present tense, but these are what we call trigger verbs for the subjunctive. So you'll see one of these verbs in the present tense, and then the verb that comes afterwards is the one that will be in the subjunctive. So we have aconsejar. That means to advise. Dejar is to let someone do something. Like mi mamá deja que yo venga a la fiesta, right? Mom lets me come to the party. First verb is in the indicative or regular present tense. Second verb is in the subjunctive. Exigir, that means to demand. Mandar, very similar in meaning, also means to demand. Insistir, or insistir en, it's a cognate, to insist or to insist on. For example, mis padres insisten en que yo regrese temprano. My parents insist that I return early. So again, insisten is your trigger verb. So it's in the present tense, present indicative. The verb that follows is the one that we put in the subjunctive. They insist that I do it, but we don't necessarily know that I'm going to come home early, so there's uncertainty with that second action. Then we have mandar. Oops, that's on there twice. Just kidding. Then we have pedir. That's to ask someone to do something. Prohibir, to prohibit or to forbid that someone does something. Like, mamá dice, te prohíbo que vayas en bicicleta. So that's mom says, I prohibit, I forbid, again, regular present tense, present indicative, but it's going to trigger that our second verb is in the subjunctive. Te prohíbo que vayas en bicicleta, right? I prohibit you to ride your bike. Then we have recomendar, which is to recommend. It's going to have an E to IE stem change happening. And then sugerir, to suggest, which also has an E to IE stem change that will happen in the present tense. Next item that I want you to fill in your guided notes is the subjunctive with impersonal expressions. So this is going to fall under the I in you weirdo. We talked about impersonal expressions before this year, but we were using them with the infinitive, like es bueno hacer la tarea. Now we're going to use them when there's a subject change. Like it's good that you do the homework, right? So here are some examples. Es necesario hacer la tarea. That's what we were doing before. Now we're going to be doing es necesario que. So when you see that impersonal expression with the que, that's again your trigger that the second verb, the following verb, is going to end up in the subjunctive. It's necessary that the students do their homework. We don't know that they're going to do their homework. We're kind of just expressing an opinion about that. So there's uncertainty again with that second action. Next example is malo ser impaciente. It's bad to be impatient. Now we can have a subject change and say es malo que seas impaciente in the subjunctive. It's bad that you be impatient, right? So again, we're kind of just expressing an opinion. We don't really know if there's certainty with this action here. So the impersonal expression is your trigger that the following verb will require subjunctive. Now move on and try the practice for today with recommendations and impersonal expressions.